Hello and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to open another Elves box by Sophie and Toffee. And this one apparently didn't have the sticker fully on, so I could just remove it and put it into my sticker collection. Usually they're mostly covered, but I do like to first of all save the paper because I like to use it, and second of all, I like to have at least one good sticker at one point, and this theme is pretty nails. It's the June Elves box, and of course we get a nice image in the back and the social media information. And it seems like we get a lot of stuff, so let's start out with these boxes. It seems like this is clear UV gel polish, and it's whatever soak off means, but yeah, it's apparently some kind of UV gel polish that you can put on top, I guess. That's a top coat or something. Either way, I'm just gonna assume it like cures with the same UV light and all that, and it will just work on your nail and is maybe more skin friendly. And then we have this tool that came in this like plastic tube, and it looks like it's double-ended, so it has like this palette thing, scraper thing-esque thing, and a brush. And I wonder if these are like for applying these, like, I don't know what they're called, but you know how you have like these like 3D things that you can like add some, I don't know if it's water or something, and you can like build this powder up to like make higher shapes on the nails. I think it's for that. And then we have nail files and some decently cheap brushes. We also have some of these like sponging tools. I think this will be really nice to apply some like powdered pigments to molds. And of course we have our mold, and this one is pretty small. I had to actually figure out first, but it looks like we get some nail cover things for like shakers things. And it looks like these are kind of nail shaped already, the things inside, and we got like controllers, little gaming console, some rabbit, cat, some paws. Looks like tiny Tetris pieces, like strawberry and things like that. So very adorable. And we got some odorless LED UV resin. Some of this mist shearing, I guess this is the color drift or glow in the dark one. But we had some of this before, and this is like the tougher stuff that you like apply, can like apply in like a thicker coating, I think. And then we get some fake nails that are pretty long, and we get some, it looks like these are acrylic colors, so I wonder how they are. Like they come in these like larger bottles, so we shall see how like good these acrylics are. And lastly we get a Sun Mini UV lamp. So one of these like standard, decently cheap UV lamps that is very handy for resin work. And this one has collapsible feet that don't really lock in, but they are pretty sturdy. The one thing I couldn't discover is any type of button, so I think this will stay on. It does come with a cable with a USB port, so that's pretty nice. But yeah, it looks like this one stays on, which is pretty handy. And of course in the booklet we see everything that we get. And yeah, the paint indeed was acrylic paint, and then they give you some tips and tricks on how to mix up resin and how to use these molds. But yeah, it looks like the mystery one was indeed like a glow-in-the-dark version. We had some color change versions before in like the Halloween box. I think it was like 2 years ago or so, which was nice. But it like takes a little while and like thicker coats to cure. But yeah, this one says this UV lamp like should stay on there for at least 3 minutes. And seeing that it doesn't have a button, that makes things easier, because usually the most like these UV lamps go if is like 30 to 90 seconds if you don't have like the ones without the timer. At least my small ones, but yeah, these apparently work out that way. And then it shows you, you know, how to take care of sharp edges and how to actually apply these kind of things, how to make shakers out of them. And then it shows you applying them to your nails. Now I'm not gonna do that because the most I wear is nail polish, and that is just plainly because I'm a crafter. Any nail stuff I put on my nails is so much in the way. But yeah, we shall make a project of this. And here you can see the showcase, and I have to say, very adorable things. Like, look at all these shakers, they're very, very beautiful. Or this like coaster with the stone inset that is the showcase winner. I have to say, I again really love the showcases, they give a lot of inspiration. But let's actually make something. I chose to go with Morani pigments, but I'm trying to keep them pretty thin because I want to use UV resin. And I carefully applied with a toothpick inside the molds. Now because they're bent, I think I will have to use a little trick to like make charms out of these, but we shall see. I did make one mistake, however. I used like a very small amount of this pigment in black in the resin, and it comes back to bite me because Morandi pigment is just way too pigmented, especially the black stuff. But yeah, I wanted to make like most of these, so I decided to just, you know, mix up the colors on like a silicone plate, just pour out some of the resin and then just use my little toothpicks to mix in the colors and then apply it. And I'm trying to like be very exact in where I apply it, like for the strawberry especially, since there's not much separation between that and the leaves, but also for like the controllers I really try to get into all the nooks and crannies, like, you know, some of the cats and stuff, they have like whiskers and like a nose and stuff, or like the controller buttons. Some of the stuff is very defined, but it's so small that like I wonder if like painting it after in some cases would be smart or not. But I really wanted to use colored resin and have some fun with it because I haven't done any resin detail work in a while. And I always thought it was quite relaxing to just sit there, mix some colors, put it into the molds, you know, cure it. I don't know, I quite enjoy doing these kind of things. Now it was a bit hard to like fill in the eyes, the nose and the whiskers of the animals, as I said, but I think I managed in the end. I just had to use something to like wipe off the excess because there was no way to like hit that. But in the end I just used one of the toothpicks covered with a bit of paper and then just, you know, wiped it off. Or paper towel, not paper, but you know what I mean. And then I just filled some of the stuff in. Now, as I alluded to before, the black is not gonna cure, and I tried to make some white into one, so there's also gonna be some gray stuff that's not gonna cure. As for the rest, like the cats and stuff, the pure white I used actually let the light through, so all the calico stuff I made and like the little bunny, they're fine, but yeah, definitely lost the full left-hand sided stuff, so the paw, the controller and the Game Boy, I guess? You know, or Game Boy-esque console. But luckily the rest was fine because the white cured and it's pretty thin. But yeah, beware of black Morandi pigment in UV resin. It just doesn't let the light through. In like thinner layers, like in the whiskers and stuff, it worked pretty well, but for the rest it just And yeah, it actually is pretty bad because like in the beginning when I uncovered them, I thought they were cured. I actually left them underneath the light for way longer. I did have some resin on the mat that I touched, so I definitely got some resin on my fingers, but nothing that some wet wipes couldn't fix. If you have resin on your hands, any kind of like soap will not really help. You need to have like something like either alcohol or wet wipes to like get it off. And my thing is, I always tend to then, you know, pay attention to not eat anything with those fingers, like for quite a while, or like touch any food with those, just like for about a day, and then it's fine. But yeah, One thing I of course wanted to try out, as you saw me, was the acrylic paints, and they suck. So yeah, I'm not gonna use them at all for anything. And yeah, I'm just gonna ignore them. Now the next step I wanted to do, of course, was make these into charms, so I decided to just use some clear resin because, you know, I guess you can also use them to like decorate pens, paintbrushes, anything like that. I think that would be a really nice idea with like the curve, just to put them on, but I want them as like bracelet charms or something. So I'm actually carefully in layers filling the back of these, as you can see, very slowly. Then I'm curing it before it can run down, and then I'm putting the next layer just so I get a flat back. And that actually worked pretty well in the end. I had to prop up some of them with a little bit of like modeling clay, like some of the paws and the bunny, because they wanted to tip over, but for the rest, as you can see, you know, no like extra support needed. I could just fill them in. So I guess you can indeed make flat charms, but if you want something rounded, as I said, I think like any kind of pen or something that you want to customize would work for these really well, if you don't want to use them for nail art. And again, these designs are super cute. Now by clipping up some of the excess, the ears broke off two of these, of course the bunny and the cat, but it was fine. I could just use some super glue and glue them, and then I used my drill to make holes through them, kind of like beads. Now that is actually when disaster struck, mainly for the black ones. As you may be able to see, there is a lot of leakage, and actually my arms are fully covered because with using the electric drill it spilled mass amounts like of tiny droplets everywhere. Luckily I was wearing a mask and eye protection, and like the area I'm using is my crafting area, so it was fine. But yeah, I just had to wipe everything down with alcohol, including my arms, which is a bit unlucky, but luckily my clothes stayed safe. But yeah, it really wasn't good, so don't use Marandi pigment. I kept that under light for like 2 hours constantly, and it didn't really work, but it's fine. I managed to avoid the worst of the worst, but that's also one reason to like wear a mask when you do these kinds of projects, not only because of the dust, but also to like make sure you don't get resin into your mouth. But yeah, to finish off the project, basically I used these as beads, got a little hook thing for like a backpack, and you can I guess make some bracelets out of it. I wanted to make like a little tiny bag charm hangy thing. So I basically got out some of these letter beads and some other fun beads, and I stringed them up. I don't know why I went with cutie paws, but it just seemed to fit with the letters I have, and for the bunny and the cat, like I guess console-esque, handheld console, it's probably what they're supposed to be. I wonder if they're based on something. I know there's a lot of like these cutesy kind of console things on the Asian market that actually have like ears and stuff. So I wonder if they're based on one console like that. But yeah, I'm gonna keep them for like a future project as charms, because they definitely turned out cute. So yeah, as I said, for decorations and also making beads of the pen, super cute. I bet they would also work for nail art, but again, I'm not a person that uses that, but the molds were just so cute, I just couldn't pass up on them. And you know, we got a lot of useful tools and a lot of useful resin and stuff, besides the acrylic paints. I think they're meant to paint on top, but like the amount of layers or like layer thickness you would need for them to actually work, because they're very watery, is I don't think that's very great. But yeah, I'm sure there's a way to like make it work, but I'm never gonna use them. If we get them in the future again, maybe in a variety of colors, I may have an idea how to use them, but for these like larger bottles, I don't even know what I would use them for. I'm gonna keep them. Maybe you can make some pigments in them and make some fun other paints, but like, yeah, I don't think for like coloring anything they are pigmented enough at all. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this box. Did you actually use it for nail art? And if so, how did it work out for you? Like, were you happy with the results? Did it work well for you? And, you know, were you actually satisfied with the designs? As I said, I really like them. I love gaming, and this like mix of this like kawaii aesthetic with gaming is just perfect for me. And yeah, I may actually decorate some stuff with them in the future, so you might see me use the mold multiple times in the future. But yeah, anyways, as always, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a great day. Hope to see you next time. Bye bye!